Are you considering Seacliff when it comes to buying or renting a home in Huntington Beach? What communities make up Seacliff? Where is Seacliff actually located? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about the communities that make up the Seacliff Huntington Beach area. Now, when we discuss this, we're going to talk about each community. We're going to talk a little bit about the floor plans, but this video is not going to be a deep dive into each one of these communities. There are going to be separate videos for each one of these where I go into depth about the community, talk about the pros and cons of each, but this is not that video. This video is an overview of the Seacliff area to show you which options you have if you're considering buying or renting a home in Seacliff Huntington Beach. Rather than Seacliff being a community, Seacliff is more of an area that is made up of a bunch of different communities. And with that said, some of those communities even have communities within the community. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, in discussing today's video, we're going to start with the communities, if you will, that are a little bit closer to the ocean. And then we're going to move a little bit further away, if you will, because Seacliff is a pretty big area. If you were looking at it on a map, it would really be Golden West to Sea Point, PCH, all the way up to Ellis, which essentially takes you from communities like the Boardwalk, communities like Surfcrest, and Ocean Colony, which are right near the ocean, all the way up to the top of Edwards Hill. For today's video, we're actually going to start with the Boardwalk. The Boardwalk is a gated community and probably located the closest to the beach of any of the other communities out there. It actually consists of 4 different tracts within the community. 3 of those tracts are made up of single family residences, whereas the 4th tract is actually made up of townhomes. The single family homes across all of the tracts range somewhere between 2,400 and roughly 4,200 square feet, whereas the townhomes offer 3 different floor plans ranging from just over 1,800 square feet to somewhere around 2,250 square feet. The next community we're going to talk about in today's video is Ocean Colony. Ocean Colony is located off Sea Point, right near PCH. It's probably going to be the 2nd closest community to the beach. And it's also a gated community that was built in the early 2000s with properties ranging from around 3,300 square feet up to 3,800 square feet. Now, as you're watching this video, there are going to be some links in the description of this video with some more information. So if you need additional information on each of these communities, be sure to go to the description as I do a more detailed video on each of these communities, diving into the pros and cons, if you will, diving into the floor plans. I'll also link to those videos in the description below, so make sure you're checking that out. But before we dive into the next video, I'd like to take a minute and ask a favor. If you find any value in these videos at all, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything around Huntington Beach living, in addition to Huntington Beach real estate. The next community we're going to talk about is right across the street from Ocean Colony, off of Sea Point and Palm, and that is Surfcrest. Surfcrest is a townhome community actually made up of 115 individual units that range from 2,000 square feet to just over 2,400 square feet. The next community I want to talk about is probably one of the more popular communities in the Seacliff area, and that's because it offers a wide range of different properties. It offers everything from townhomes to patio homes to larger properties. And that community is Seacliff on the Greens. As I mentioned a moment ago, it's made up of 3 different tracts. The first of which are the Club Series properties. These are the townhomes within the community. This is kind of an in-between the condos and the larger properties in the community. And the last tract in the community is the Estates 1. Now, why is it the Estates 1? Because there's also an area called Seacliff Estates, which is essentially Estates 2, which we'll talk about in just a minute. The Seacliff Club Series is made up of 424 properties that are all attached townhomes, and they range from just over 1,800 square feet to just over 2,200 square feet, in addition to having several different pools within the community. Now, that's something I didn't mention about the communities earlier when I was talking about Surfcrest and Mystic Point. Both of those communities also offer amenities like a swimming pool, whereas the other communities that I talked about are single family homes, and many of those homes do have pools, but there's not actually a community pool for those properties. But getting back to Seacliff on the Greens, the next tract that we're going to talk about is actually the Master Series, which consists of 104 homes ranging from 2,437 square feet to just over 3,100 square feet. This tract also has 6 community pools, that the residents have access to. The last tract that makes up Seacliff on the Greens is actually Seacliff Estates 1 that I mentioned a moment ago. This consists of 140 homes that were built back in the 1980s and range from just over 2,600 square feet to just over 4,500 square feet. Now, one thing I didn't mention when talking about Seacliff on the Greens, it is a gated community with actually two different entrances, one off Palm, which is the main entrance, and then there's also an entrance off Sea Point, both of which have a security guard there full time. Now, located just behind Seacliff on the Greens off of Sea Point is Seacliff Estates 2 that we mentioned a moment ago. This community was actually developed after Seacliff Estates 1, if you will, and consists of 132 homes with square footages ranging from 2,600 square feet to just over 3,297 square feet. Now, one nice thing about the Seacliff area in general is that much of it is built around the Huntington Club, which is a local private golf course that offers 18 holes of wonderful golf. And many of the communities that we're talking about today surround that golf course. So you can actually be located in Seacliff on the Greens, in the Estates 1 and be on the golf course in that community. You can also be in the Estates 2 and have a house located on that community, in addition to being in Lower Seacliff or Upper Seacliff, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute, and being on the course, as well as the peninsula, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So with that, I want to talk about Upper and Lower Seacliff. So Upper and Lower Seacliff are single family homes, often referred to as the Cambria Collection. This was actually built by the Seacliff partners back in the 1990s with square footages ranging from just over 2,400 square feet to 3,500 square feet. Now, because these are single family homes and there's no homeowners association that oversees these properties, you've seen a lot of redevelopment, a lot of additions, a lot of homes that have been torn down and rebuilt since the original homes were constructed. And so now the floor plans and the square footages vary tremendously between both Upper and Lower Seacliff. But Lower Seacliff is the area that's closer to the beach. As you go up Golden West, if you will, getting closer to Summit, that's more of where you get up to Upper Seacliff area. The next community we're going to talk about today is the Peninsula. The Peninsula is an area that's located in Seacliff. The main entrance is off of Summit, which is near the cross streets of Golden West and Garfield. The Peninsula community is a gated community also consisting of 4 different tracts. Now, the Peninsula is a very highly sought after area because of the location, because of the age of the homes, in addition to the proximity to the beach, in addition to being located near really good schools. The 4 different tracts are the Port Ivy tract with square footages ranging between 2,450 up to just over 3,000 square feet, as well as the Westport tract with square footages ranging from 2,700 to 3,300 square feet. You also have the Riviera tract with square footages ranging between 3,160 to almost 3,500 square feet. And lastly, you have the Turnberry tract, which is the largest of the 4 tracts with square footages going from just under 3,700 square feet to just over 4,300 square feet. The last community we're going to talk about is Edwards Hill. This is the community or area, if you will, that is the furthest from the ocean. But with that said, it's only a couple of miles to the beach, so in all reality, it's pretty close. Edwards Hill is actually an equestrian area. They have horse paths walking around the community. So if you're a horse lover, if you have horses, then living in Edwards Hill could be the place for you. But Edwards Hill is actually made up of 6 different tracts. All but one of them are not gated. But with that said, these properties offer probably the largest lots of anywhere in Huntington Beach because of it being an equestrian area. Many of these homes have tennis courts, basketball courts, in addition to super large lots. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, one of the communities on top of Edwards Hill is actually gated, and that is the Bluffs community. Many of the homes in the Bluffs are also on the larger side, with many of them offering ocean views. So if you're looking to move to Seacliff and you want something on the smaller side, then you're probably looking at the Seacliff Club Series within Seacliff on the Greens. And if you're looking something on the larger side, then there are several different opportunities out there for you to take a look at. But with that said, I realize this video wasn't super detailed. I just wanted to give you an overview of the area so that you know what Seacliff is in addition to what it offers. But if you do have additional questions, my contact is listed below. And also, if you need a real estate agent to guide you through the process to answer these questions for you, I would love the opportunity to help. You can also get in touch with me by finding my contact information listed below. But if you have additional questions on other communities in Huntington Beach or what Huntington Beach has to offer, do me a favor and check out this video here.